I want to tell you what's in my heart right now.
Yeah.
Over the last year, our distance, pain sits on top of that distance.
Well, there we
Hi.
go. Hi, Reza. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well. It's been a minute.
Yes, it has.
I love the shirt. All right. Well, we
Thank you.
should dive right into this because there's been an
Let's do
insane
it.
amount of drama occurring this season, literally at every cast member's expense. So in your opinion, do you think that this season is pretty much the most dramatic yet?
100%. By
100.
far.
Why do you
Yeah.
think so?
It went from just one bombshell after another. It was like my iCloud got hacked. It absolutely was not me. It was me, but then there were these spoofs that he was sending, but no, he told me Golnessa did it, but he was actually the one who did it. And the whole time I was like, wait, come again now? It was hard to keep track of all of the storylines, but it was almost like a distraction that was interesting to follow because the heartfelt one that was going down between MJ and I was so painful that the comical one going down with Mike was almost like a reprieve from how serious, things had been with MJ and I.
Yeah, it almost is a good balance between the two of you. And I want to talk about your relationship with MJ. Looking back, is there anything that has been reported in the media or anything that you just wish the general public understood about your relationship with her?
It's so complex and complicated.
Mm-hmm.
I always want to be 100% upfront and accountable for everything I've done and said. So I never want to describe anything to you to take away from my bad behavior. I always want to be upfront and own and either grow and apologize or just straight up apologize and be humiliated, but always be accountable for the things that I'm doing. And these reality shows, if you're open to them, tend to teach you a lot, when you get to watch yourself back and be humiliated or shameful or embarrassed or, learn something from watching yourself, which was great. I just would want people to understand it's so complicated to be friends with someone for 30 years and have that person marry another human being and then continue to be best friends when now there's a foursome, but we also have a career together on a TV show and, there's feelings involved and information gets shared. And so it's very hard to balance all of that.
I totally understand that. And there has been literally a roller coaster between all of your friendships on the show. Looking back at last season, there was, of course, a comment that was made at the pool party. How have you addressed that comment with MJ and kind of just taking ownership for that moment?
It wasn't a one-time thing. It was multiple steps forward and many steps backwards. Me thinking, I had made enough apologies and amends and explained where we were at, what was going on, and what led to that explosion. But when you watch things, sometimes it makes you feel like it's happening again. And, things would come up for her again, and then we would discuss it. And I literally said to her, once we started to try and get to a better place, I said, listen, regardless of what happens, I'm going to stay in the place that no matter what I hear and see, if I want to get to a better place with you, I have to be able to grin and bear whatever you guys are saying, because I need to prove my intentions to you. I need to prove to you that I really do want to be in a much better place with you. I do care about you. I have nothing but regret for what went down. And I want to show that to you and prove it to you. So if you're not mirroring where I'm at and I have to watch it and I have to watch, Tommy say things that are hurtful to me, right? But it's okay because I'm further along. we had a pandemic. They have a kid at home. They didn't have the luxuries that I had, and all the personal time I was able to dedicate to myself and therapy and running and losing weight and intermittent fasting and doing yoga and journaling and a lot more time for myself. They had a baby at home to dedicate themselves to.
Well, you do look great. So congratulations on all the work that you have put in. On
Thank
that
you.
note, when you guys started to reconnect this season, it really was a beautiful, heartfelt moment. It was raw and real. During that moment, as you said earlier, you guys are now a foursome in a way because you both are in relationships. Were you ever thinking, I wonder what Adam's going to feel about this situation? Or was it more so, MJ has been my best friend and I need to prove myself to her and get this friendship back?
It was a very heavy dose of both, but leaning more in the favor of the person that I was speaking to at the time, because both were expecting my devotion. And it was a very complex position to be in, because there was, 100% of me that wanted to prove my, dedication and devotion to MJ and our friendship and owning everything, my part, and proving to her, and also making my husband feel like a partner in our relationship, that the decisions that we make together, because we discuss them at home and we bounce ideas back and forth. So I really wanted to be like way more stand-up than I had been in the past, and it was a very difficult line to walk.
I personally think you did a great job. You were able to really sit there and just hear MJ out, and you stayed calm, cool, and collected the entire time. Was there any advice or conversations that you had with Adam right before you went to go film that scene?
I did, and everything was just to like reaffirm to him who he is to me and where we are with one another, because I know my friend of 30 years and I know the declarative statements that she's gonna need and want to hear. And I just wanted him to know that, yes, like I'm gonna give her what she needs, because A, she's worth it, B, I'm sorry for what transpired, and C, I really want to get to a better place. So can these two things coexist at the same time? And can you support me as a partner in it? And he looked at me and he said, if this is something that you want, I have my own relationship with MJ. I can support you in what you want. Yes.
I love that. And a lot of time has passed now. Have you been able to meet baby Shams yet?
I don't want to give this season away, but I've gotten to see a lot of footage of him, and it's a blessing that the show exists, because I get to see intimate moments just like the audience, and they'll do a flashback of photos, and it's so crazy because you guys will not know that I already in my head, because I saw her post the picture, obviously, was thinking to myself, I know all those baby pictures. I've seen every album, right?
Right.
I was thinking that side by side in my head, and then the show aired the side by side that I saw in my brain, and it's crazy. So it's
baby Shams. Is he like a little MJ? Is he exactly what you thought he would be?
100% as beautiful and gorgeous and similar to MJ as I knew he would be, as I hoped he would be, and he's absolutely precious.
Do you hope that one day you can earn the title to be Uncle Reza to baby Shams?
I just am working towards, that is like long-term goals, girl, yes. But I don't even want to put that out there, because I don't want to disrespect where we're at today and the baby steps that I feel, because MJ and I are in a good place. I am happy to report back that she posted photos on Instagram that she's in New York, and she and I were texting right before her trip, and I was wishing her, a successful and safe trip. So we're in a really good place, and I enjoy the baby steps. I have respect for them because of where we're at. And I have realistic expectations, but I'm enjoying the forward movement. And I just keep praying that like the rest of the drama stays like, you know,
at arm's length.
Not like, yeah, like not like here, but here. So when MJ goes home, it's not like, you know, again, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like that she actually goes back and says, you know, we had a hangout and everyone was really on their best behavior, and I'm looking forward to maybe bringing Shams to the event, and maybe Tommy's heart goes, you know, tiny bit. So that's my hope and prayer for the hangouts moving forward.
I hope you guys can all work something out, and it's so nice to hear that you guys are in a good place without giving too much of the season away. I also really applaud you for really putting your story and your emotions all out there on the show. Does it bother you when certain people don't do the same? Because it's kind of been a little bit of a reoccurring thing that I've noticed in the show, where people will be like, don't say anything till we get home and the cameras are off. This is between me and you. This is not for TV. It's
yeah. And you know, that's the frustrating portion of loving these human beings that are your really good friends in real life. And like when cameras aren't around, you're breaking bread and there's no drama. But then you actually end up like the catchphrase feeling some sort of way just epitomizes how you end up feeling, because you understand it. Like, are there many things that I wish I could come back and say to everyone, all my friends, and say, you guys, you know, like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to elaborate. I just don't want to go there. I don't want to have to apologize for it. I don't want to have to, you know, have some growth on camera and be humble and read all the comments and absorb how that feels as a human being, you know? When people have judgments about you and they're very blunt and they're very sometimes mean. And when you get to say, don't say anything until we get home, you also then get to protect yourself and shield yourself from having to deal with any of that, because that gets to not be part of the show. So you end up feeling some sort of way, and then the person who has too many feelings to begin with has an outburst or two that may not make sense always. But
I'm following where you're going with this. I want to bring it onto a little bit of a happier note, because the season trailer was released, and Reza, we gotta talk. What is up with Destiny and Nema?
I mean, can I just bring it first back to Destiny?
Yes.
Because she was one of the reasons I kicked off my Don't Stop, Get It. Because she literally, her front door, if I don't want to show the brand, but if I threw this can of soda over my fence, it would hit her front door right now. So every single,
a little bit. Do you see if Reza or if Nema's coming over?
Right? I could totally, that's the one good thing I can do. She was looking so darn hot. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Good this season. Like especially
scrumptious.
Good.
Like literally like a frosted, cream cheese frosted. Like, you know, like frosted cupcake. I mean, wubba wubba.
Is it just like happiness? Like, is she just so happy it's radiating?
Yes. She's so lean, so beautiful. She's in a great place, in a new home, exploring new business opportunities. And I just think she's in a great place with her nephew, and it just is coming out of her pores. And I do not blame Nema. If I were him, I would do the same.
But you're Reza, so do you ship Destiny and Nema as someone who's friends with both of them?
See, it's very difficult, because when you are friends with both of them, especially your male friend, you know, when you know too much about a male friend, especially Mike, you don't want to hook them up with your sister. So It's like a catch-22. What do? It's like, listen, she has to be the one. This can't be like a hit it and split it fun type situation, like, because it has a ripple effect on the friend group. Look at what my stupidity has done, you know? We're still trying to like bring the fractured group back together. Could you imagine like a sexual like split between Nema and Destiny? We'd be like Humpty Dumpty. We'd be like Humpty Dumpty at that point.
Exactly. Also, I wanted to say in other news, you're writing a book. You just revealed that on the show. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Write this when you already share so much with your fans on TV. And is it kind of like leading into what you want to do and how you want to present yourself on reality TV?
Listen, I wish I was so smart that I was able to like image craft myself for reality TV. If I were, you know, some of the would not have come out. The reasons I've had the longevity is what you see is what you get, good and bad, and hopefully like I learn from the bad. The reason I wanted to write the book was I came up with people that are no longer here. They were Middle Eastern. They were dealing with their their sexuality. And I remember that like suicide was like an option on the table. Like I thought if, X, Y, and Z happened, like I would need to like, because I wouldn't be able to like shame my family, it was like that bad in our culture. And so like now looking back on it and talking about it with people that are much younger than me, I get how shocking some of the scenarios were and stuff. And I realized sharing some of the stories with people that went to Beverly Hills High School, and they had my cell phone number and they contacted me because I shared it with them on Facebook, and they'd be like, I had a rough day, I'm kind of flamboyant, my voice is a little more effeminate, the kids, do X, Y, and Z to me. And these kids are now in college, post-college, the show's been around that long. And so I wanted to help other people that are different, that didn't find a lane and can relate to their differences. They don't have to be Middle Eastern and gay and half Jewish and half Muslim, but just be different and realize you don't have to be so like the self-talk doesn't have to be so harsh.
Last question before I let you go.
Yes.
What are you most excited and most nervous for the world to finally learn about you through reading your book?
Oh my good God. I told a few stories, embarrassing stories about like my mom walking in on me one time in the worst type of embarrassment. And the thing that I'm most excited for people to learn, just some of the things that I've done, and the decision was literally my own, that like I was able to, make this magic happen in my life. One day I decided I was going to run a marathon, and you could Google this. This is that stuff you can make up. Like there's pictures of me crossing the finish line in 3 hours, 22 minutes, and 22 seconds in 1998. And it was because I just decided I could. There was no one telling me I could. Everyone was telling me you're not even built for it. You have the body of, like you're not. So just finding the inner and holding your own sign up when no one else is there for you and getting to where it is that you want to get to.
How inspiring. I'm so excited to read it. Reza, thank you so much for your time today. I really
Thank you for hanging with me.
Of course. Well, we'll talk soon. Thank you so much,
take care.
everybody.